It is time for the Align for Success podcast. Hi, I'm Deborah Darris, your hostess with the mostest, here for another amazing episode of our podcast. You may be wondering, is it really 11:11? It's 11:11 somewhere. Not really. This used to be the 11:11 show. Why? Because we are remembering that we're one with the one with the one. Remember that? And that is what alignment is about, that we are walking our talk, that our core values, our beliefs are lining up with our behaviors. And that's what this podcast is all about. Podcast and live stream. If you're seeing me on your YouTube, subscribe. If you're seeing me on your Facebook, share. If you're seeing me on your Instagram, let a friend know. Why? What would the world be like if everybody was in alignment for success? Not having a job, but having a joy, loving what they do, doing what they love, and being on purpose, fulfilling your soul's contract. I have to tell you, I don't know why. Do you ever get obsessed about YouTube? Like I sometimes, hi Alfonso. I sometimes like get on this YouTube like binge watching. And last night I was watching like this psychic medium. And to me, mediums are so fascinating because they talk about the afterlife, heaven, the eternal life, right? And when I think about my soul's contract and my purpose for being here, it brings me back to my brother who's on the other side. And what gives me so much comfort when I wake up every day and I see all the millions of things on my to-do list is remembering why I'm here, that I'm here not just to be seen or to be on camera. I am here to serve. I am here because my brother, when he passed, came to me in a dream and said, you have a life purpose, you have a soul's contract, and it's to help others remember theirs. And when I hear him say that, and the medium on YouTube was saying, you know what? Our loved ones are with us. They are not gone. They are giving us signs and symbols. And Alfonso, my brother and Prince, Prince would give me, I was arguing with someone about the best Prince song. And I was talking about how Prince did better than Tevin Campbell, whatever. And I was walking on the Venice canals. Next thing you knew, I see a rock that said shh, SHHH. Ooh la la. That was Prince talking to me, telling me, hey girl, I'm with you, right? So we have people that I call them earth angels while they're here, but then they are just angels when they're on the other side, helping us, conspiring to help us, to put us in the right place at the right time. But today we're going to talk about a topic by popular demand called the imposter syndrome. Why are we talking about the imposter syndrome? Because so many people have told me that they are dealing with it. Are you? If you know someone that's dealing with the imposter syndrome, maybe share this episode with them when we're done, if you find it useful, because I'm going to talk about steps to overcome the imposter syndrome. Because let me tell you something. Everybody I know has some form or another of the imposter syndrome. In fact, I was doing research before the show, and I found that 70% of professionals, this was according to, I can't remember the American Psychological Association, said 70% of professionals feel imposter syndrome. And if you read the book Lean In, do you remember that book by the COO Facebook, Sandberg? Facebook, I'm giving you the side eye for messing with my emoji the other day. What did you do to her? Oh my God. Anybody notice your Bitmojis get fat and ugly? Anyway, I digress. ADD, sorry. So back to the book Lean In. In the book Lean In, it mentions that women, for the most part, in the book, in the study that they did, are not applying for positions because they feel like imposters. Wait a minute, I'm not qualified. Whereas men will apply for the positions and say, oh, I'll just figure it out when I get there. And it's not just women that have the imposter syndrome, it's men and women, but 70% of professionals are facing this. And what is the cost of the imposter syndrome? The cost could be selling ourselves short, not asking for enough money. Deborah, I'm looking at you. The cost could be playing small, not going for big opportunities because we don't think we're ready. Yes, you are. The imposter syndrome can also take us out of the running for opportunities for promotions, maybe in a career, or if you're an entrepreneur, opportunities to go big and get government contracts or $1 million partnerships. Okay. So the price of the imposter syndrome is great. I love you too, Alfonso. You know I do. You know I do. Oh my God. His lives inspire me to go live. I think he's my inspiration. And when you think of people, I don't know, I'm a woman, right? So when I think of my role models, I think of, people that I admire, right? And I remember Oprah, my coach, in 2020, January, before the pandemic, right? Or before we knew that it was here, I flew to Florida and she was interviewing Lady Gaga. And she had also interviewed J-Lo because she was on this tour with Weight Watchers about Live Your Best Life tour. And J-Lo said that even after 20 years, she would always have that little voice of imposter, whether she was doing acting or singing or dancing. Did that stop J-Lo? Oh, heck no. She just worked harder. She's just like, well, you know what? I may not be a natural singer, so I'm going to train. I know that I'm a great dancer, but I don't know salsa, so I'm going to train. Or I may not be this, right? Also, who else? Freaking, did you guys see the biopic with Janet Jackson? Oh my God. I just started listening to Rhythm Nation. I just started getting into it. Control. They say I look like Paula Abdul. So funny. But oh my God, Janet said in the biopic that she had a nightmare, her first concert, which I can relate to, that nobody would come. Nobody showed up to her concert. And okay, so you think, okay, well, that was when she first started her career. 30 years later, I saw her on The View or some show talking about her biopic documentary that was on A&E and Lifetime. And she said, I'm shocked that people watched it because it was like the highest rated show, right? And she's like, I didn't think anybody would be interested in my life. That's why I was focusing on the early childhood years with my brothers. She didn't think they'd be interested. Imposter syndrome runs deep. Why? Our little friend. Hi, Marion. Oh my God, I was watching your Instagram the other day. It looks great. Whoever's doing your Instagram, give them a raise, right? So the imposter syndrome, you know what it's based in? It's based in ego. You know what I always say, Marion? Mama Cheesecake, for all your cheesecake needs. The ego is not your freaking amigo. Why? Because the ego is focusing you on self. And the number one way to have imposter syndrome is to be focused on self, right? How do I look? Like right now, my lipstick is uneven. I'm trying to fix it. Oh my God. I ruined it. It doesn't matter because it's not about self. What is it about? Service, right? So when we focus on service, hey, Marion, maybe you didn't want to get on Instagram. You didn't feel at your best during a pandemic, right? But you did it. You got on Instagram Live. You did your cooking show. You showed up and you showed out. And guess what? Sales went through the roof, even during a pandemic, right? Right. So the first thing that we need to do, number one, to let go of imposter syndrome is hi, gorgeous Rosalena. I hope to see you tonight. The first thing we need to do to get over imposter syndrome is to remember that our ego is not our amigo, and it's always going to have side talk conversation. It's my alarm. Got to go get my nails done. I have a speaking gig. Oh my God. I got to get ready. Okay. I'm going to go fast because I got to get to the speaking gig, but you are my most important thing right now. Okay. So number one, our ego is not our amigo. Shift from self to service. Not what do they think of me? How can I help them? How can I serve them? Then the focus is different. When the focus is on ourselves, we can get self-conscious and block our good. But when we shift from how can I help them, my ideal target market, my client, my customer, the person I'm serving, I'm talking to you, soul-based entrepreneurs, right? Cool. Okay. Next thing that we need to do to overcome the imposter syndrome is we need to remember that there's no such thing as failure, there's only feedback. I mentioned this on my Instagram Reels. For those of you that are not following me on Instagram at Latina Speaker, I do like 60 seconds. If you don't have the time or the energy to watch this 22-minute podcast, 44-minute podcast, don't worry. 60 seconds on my Instagram. It's like a TikTok. It's a reel. Go over there at Latina Speaker. So there's no such thing as failure. You know, I talked to this real estate person the other day because I'm thinking of getting back into real estate. You know, I own, what's making me think about real estate is the house that I owned in Inglewood that I don't own anymore. That would have been wonderful to have during the Super Bowl. That was worth so much money. Oh my God. I don't even want to think about the appreciation of that house that I door knocked for. Oh my God. This is like $500,000. It's okay. My real estate person said, listen, girl, 10% of all your real estate deals are not going to, as an investor, are not going to go through. Just know that you're going to have 90% success. There's no such thing as failure. There's feedback. You learn from that experience. What did you learn in real estate? Hold, no matter what. Buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. I know some of you are flippers, but that's what I learned. Okay. No such thing as failure, only feedback. The other thing to get over the imposter syndrome is to realize, and I learned this from one of my business coaches. I have many business coaches. Never trust a business coach without a business coach. Okay. So one of my coaches, her name is Marie Forleo. Hi, J.I., how are you, John? She is Marie Forleo. She's bomb.com. She's Italian. She's New York. She's feisty. She's cute. Do you guys know Marie? Oh, make it new dreams. Exactly, Rosalina. So Marie Forleo says, and she wrote this whole book, Everything is Figure Outable. She said, don't get it perfect, get it done. Because the imposter in us will say, oh, Deborah, you know, like right now, like if I had imposter syndrome, I would never come on live. Number one, my lipstick is crooked. Number two, my hair is a hot mess. Number three, I have to leave at 12:30 and it's like 12:20. It's like, what am I doing on here? But you know what? It's not going to be perfect, but it's about serving you. It's about getting this information. It's feeding you, right? You're hungry. It's lunchtime. I need to give you some appetizer, get you fed, right? It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be exactly what you need to be satisfied, right? To get that little taste of inspiration. And that's what I'm focused on. Serving, not selfishness. Selfishness says, oh, it has to be perfect. There is nobody that's perfect. Thomas Edison, when he was creating the light bulb, made mistakes 10,000 times or 9,999 times before the 10,000th time, right? Everybody starts somewhere. Look at the iPhone. Are we using iPhone 1? No, we're using iPhone 11, 12, 13, right? Improving. Okay? Okay. So just get it done. Don't get it perfect. Next, one of the things you could do, oh my God, this is a great idea. I don't know where I read it. You could make, you know, you have like a journal, you have all these little books you write in. Make a document. I want you all to do this. Rose, Marianne, John, if you would, Alfonso, make a document of all your achievements, accolades, and accomplishment. We'll call this a journal, right? Because it's achievements, accolades, and accomplishments. Oh, you know, maybe John had this many streams on Spotify, or you were given an award, or so-and-so that was your podcast guest said your podcast was so great, he wanted to come back, right? Whatever, right? Rose, you may say, everyone that thanked you because they bought a home from you, everyone that said, oh my God, there's no other real estate agent like you, anything. Or maybe Marianne said, these cheesecakes are the best I ever had. You're the only one I ever want to order from. Have a journal where everything that's great about you is written down. And this is your in case of imposter syndrome emergency journal. You get out the journal, accomplishment, accolade, and achievements. And you look at it and you read it. You read it out loud, friends. Don't look at it. Read it out loud, because one of the things you know that I teach, mindset, marketing, manifestation, it's the feeling. What's going to attract you to get more business is the feeling. It's the vibration. It's not the thought. So you want to read it out loud and get a rampage of appreciation for who? For you, my friend John, for you, my friend Marianne, for you, my friend Rose, for you, my friend Alfonso. Why? because you will counteract the imposter syndrome. How are we doing on time? Oh, God, gotta go. Okay, wait, we have another one. The other thing that I do personally, because I have to tell you, I still have imposter syndrome. So, like, I'll go to speak somewhere, like when I went to NASA, I went to JP Morgan. Where else did I go that freaked me out? Caltech, anywhere with rocket scientists and engineers has freaked me out, right? I'm like, who am I to do this? Or I spoke to judges, bankruptcy judges in San Francisco. And what I say to myself is, self, especially, it's really the ego that I'm talking to. It's not myself. I call my ego Lola because she's like a little puppy that's untrained, doesn't know not to pee in the house. Go outside. And what I say to this self, ego self, is if you were given an opportunity, Rose, Marion, Alfonso, John, you have the capacity to achieve it. Fill in your name. If you were like invited to speak somewhere, or if you were invited to do something that you've never done before, and the imposter syndrome is, you know what the imposter syndrome is saying? We're excited. And because we have not done it before, we translate the excitement into fear. It's a miscommunication. It's a language, what's it called? Error in translation, right? That's wrong. We're mistaking excitement because it's the unknown for fear. Because fear and excitement are the same side of the coin. Fear, excitement, fear, excitement. So what you need to do, and I'm inviting myself to do it too, flip over the fear to excitement. Oh, we don't know how that is? Let's experience it. Boom. It's freaking amazing. Okay? So that's what I want you to say to yourself. If I was invited, if I was given the opportunity, it's because God knows better than me and I have the capacity to achieve it. Okay, let's review. Okay, you guys ready? Ready? Okay, so we're reviewing. Oh, I have one more and then I'm going to leave. Also, have a cheerleading squad. Have a group of 3 people that you know if you text them about something are going to say you can do it. I have like the best friends in the world. So even if I put something on Facebook and I'm like, can you please pray for me? Like tonight, I'm speaking at this event, 60 people sold out. They're expecting me to deliver and I'm going to, right? But I still have a little. So guess what? I'm just going to turn it over and surrender and allow myself to be the messenger for the message. It'll be great. But I have a cheerleading squad, which is my Facebook. But you might have like 2 or 3 people in your phone that you can text and say, hey, I'm going to go do this phone call. I'm going to go do this meeting. I'm going to do this presentation. Can you send positive vibes? And they're going to say, you got this, Marion. You're going to sell this house, Rose. You're going to knock this song out of the park, John. You're going to be the best MC ever, Alfonso. Why? Because you always are. You're a star. Okay. Okay. Let's repeat. Number 1. Ego is not our amigo. When we get the imposter syndrome, we're going to shift from self to service. Okay. Next, remember, there's no such thing as failure, just feedback. When we are thinking about, oh my God, I failed, like my real estate story. No, just feedback on how we can improve. There's always going to be room for improvement. There's not one TEDx talker or one public speaker out there. Even Brene Brown, anybody, Mel Robbins, all the top speakers felt like imposters. Read Mel Robbins' book. She's the #1 speaker right now, felt like an imposter. It's in her book, 5 Habit thing. No one is perfect, by the way, so do not think you need to get it perfect. My coach, Marie Florilio, says, get it done. Don't get it perfect, okay? Next thing, we're going to have our list, our list of achievements, accomplishments, accolades. And when we get the imposter, we're going to read it. When? We're going to read it out loud, okay? Then we're going to have our mantra. Remember, if we're asked to do something, we have the capacity to do it. And the final one is we're going to have a cheerleading squad that when we have to do something that we're feeling nervous about, feeling that imposter rise up, what are we going to do? We are going to trust our higher self, and we are going to know if we were asked that we can do it. All right? That is my message for today. I want to thank everyone for being here. If you got something out of it, let me know in the comment section. Love to hear from you. Please share this broadcast if you're watching on Facebook or if you're on YouTube. We appreciate you subscribing and liking. If you would like to comment on what topics or problems, challenges that you have that you would like us to cover in future podcasts, would love to do that. All right. My name is Deborah Darris, your mindset, marketing, and manifestation coach. For more information on upcoming events, programs, I'd love to invite you. You could just go to the website, deborahdarris.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter. And you'll get invitations to, I have a lot of free marketing webinars. I'm doing a free Ignite Your Revenue webinar on the 17th. That's not even up on the website yet, but it will be up by tomorrow. So many things coming up, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. So make sure you sign up for the newsletter. You'll also get a video, 4 steps to align for success. I want to thank you so much for joining. And remember, with the power of synergy, anything is possible. Ciao.